Hello guys, it's Flippingmarkets here. Welcome everyone. This will be today's breakdown video. Actually, I took two trades today, so let's just break down those two trades. First of all, let's begin on the 15-minute chart and let's map out our structure and POIs. Actually, as you can see, let me just zoom out and you will see it better. This was the 4-hour supply. We talked about this several times in the past. And this was the 4-hour demand zone that caused the liquidity sweep from this region, this 4-hour region, and the tap of the 4-hour supply and the change of character on the higher time frame. So basically it did everything on the 4-hour chart. Okay, price tapped this demand zone here, as you can see, had a really small reaction on it and rejection, but after this it just flipped the zone. This supply zone has flipped the zone here, as you can see, broke the whole zone. Okay, after I saw this break, my whole bias changed to bearish from bullish, because in this region, in this upper region, my bias was bullish and I was looking for continuation trades up to this daily supply level here. But after I saw this break of this 4-hour valuable demand zone, as I said, my whole bias has just changed. Okay, as you can see, price tapped another 4-hour demand zone right here. This was the extreme demand zone that also changed character or broke structure and created inefficiency, but it doesn't really matter. Price tapped this demand zone, as you can see, created a huge liquidity trend line right here, built up small series of higher highs and higher lows after this supply zone, the flip supply zone, this 15-minute supply zone right here. Price tapped the 15-minute supply zone, the flip zone, and after a tap, it changed character here on the 1-minute chart and reverse price to the downside and created a change of character on the 15-minute chart right here, as you can see. After a change of character, as you may know, after a change of character, supply or demand zone will be automatically formed. So supply zone has been formed here because this supply caused the whole inefficient move to the downside, change of character and everything. Okay, so we have this valuable supply zone up here, but price created another valuable supply zone down here, this decisional one, because this decisional supply zone, sorry, let me just remove this drawing. So this decisional supply zone caused the break of structure on the 4-hour chart here and the break of this zone. Also the supply zone had liquidity just below it. As you can see, here's the first tap, here's the second tap. So perfectly equally lined up liquidity right here, just below this supply zone. And that's why I was expecting the reaction and sweep of this liquidity into this supply zone. It actually happened here, swept the liquidity from this region, as you can see, tapped the zone, but only mitigated the really small percentage of this zone. And it created some fake change of character here and here. But as you may know, we do not trust the first step. We do not trust the first step because this is a really small mitigation, and it also created liquidity line right here. First liquidity, second liquidity. This was New York Open right here when the second liquidity has been formed. And that's why I sent you in the markups that I'm waiting for the liquidity purge and the liquidity sweep to the upside and higher supply zone mitigations. It exactly happened as I said. Price mitigated the higher area of the supply zone, swept the liquidity from these double taps. And after this, there was an entry opportunity for me. This one right here. So this one, we are talking about this. This was the liquidity sweep right here. Sorry, this was the liquidity sweep right here. This was the liquidity sweep movement. So as you can see, huge inefficient movement to the upside and higher supply area tap right here. And actually, this was a really strong confirmation for me because, yeah, here as you can see, price didn't really create a break of structure with body break. It just wicked above this high point. And after the wick above, change character here. Or it doesn't change character because it wasn't a break of structure, and the last structural low point will be this one. But for me, it was enough confirmation for the shorts because after this huge liquidity sweep and huge inefficient move and huge inefficient move to the downside also and change of character, it was really enough confirmation for me to hop in a short. Because as I said, my bias is extremely bearish. So I'm looking for short opportunities. I'm trying to grab every single short opportunity. And this was a really strong confirmation for me. Double liquidity sweep here. All of the liquidity swept, higher time frame supply tap, smaller time frame supply tap right here. It mitigated the 1-minute supply zone right here. Change of character. So yeah, basically this was a really strong confirmation for me. Unfortunately, the trade didn't play that well because it did hit break even on this level. I did set my stop loss to break even because this low point created the last strong high, as you can see, and price broke below this week low. So after a week low breaks, I'm always setting my stop loss into break even, and that's why I did set my stop loss into break even. It did hit by this movement, and after my stop loss did hit, I was looking for another confirmation and another opportunity. And here comes a really important part. If you take a loss or if you take a break even trade, just don't panic. You don't have to panic. You don't have to overcomplicate things, overreact things. Just adapt and focus on the market, focus on price, focus on the new opportunities. Just don't panic. I took a break-even trade here. I quickly changed my bias. I knew that price is going to break above this supply zone and tap the upper supply zone. So in this region, in this 1 minute region, my bias was bullish. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a good long entry up to this supply zone. But after price tapped this supply zone right here, here was the first step, pullback, here was the second tap. This demand zone created the second tap and the new high. Price reacted on this demand zone right here. As you can see, here's a reaction, created this supply zone right here that changed character to the downside and broke below this demand zone. Because as you can see, this is a really change of character and a really small break. But for change of characters, weeks are perfectly enough. And this week, this small week, just week below this demand zone. And as soon as I saw this, and also it happened with innovation move, as you can see, this is an inefficient candle. As soon as I saw this, I did set my order limit at the 50% of this candle because this is an equilibrium entry point because the wicks are bigger than the 50% of the whole body. So yeah, I did set my order limit at the 50% of this small candle. My target was the 5 minute demand zone, which is here. As you can see, this demand zone was my target. This created a huge inversion push and supply tap right here and liquidity sweep. I refined this demand zone on the 1 minute chart and for a more precise TP point. So I refined this demand zone right like this. This was my target point for 1 to 8 risk reward ratio. And actually I didn't really have to manage the trade because huge inversion push after the supply tap, as you can see, small pullback after the break of this week low and the creation of this strong high. I did set my stop loss here on this level, but it didn't really mean anything because it did hit my TP right away. So yeah, basically this is the breakdown. Sorry guys, my recording stopped suddenly. So yeah, basically this was today's trade breakdown video. And just one more important thing. The reason behind I took this trade and this trade, although there wasn't even a real breakout structure to the upside, either on here and either on here, and no real change of character here and here, is that my bias was, as I said, extremely bearish. And the liquidity purge, either on this region and either on this region, was just enough for me. And the wickables were just enough for me to happen in a trade. So yeah, basically, as you can see, here's equal taps, purge, change of character, trade, equal taps here, or even here, trend line, equal taps, purge, change of character. So yeah, these were just enough confirmations for me to happen in a short trade because, as I said, my bias was extremely bearish. Just look at the 15-minute chart. Let me just show you that real quick. Just look at the 15-minute chart. Extremely valuable demand zones. Either this one, either this one. Really valuable demand zone. And just look at this. Price taps this demand zone, breaking through that demand zone, creating supply zone. Taps this demand zone, creating liquidity line, levitates back up to the supply zone, breaking through with huge innovation movement to the downside and breaking structures to the downside. Over and over again, price created supply zones and respected those supply zones. And that's why I took both trades today, because I didn't really want to miss out. I just wanted to be in the trade. And yeah, that's why I said this week above was just enough for me for a break of structure, and this was enough for me for a change of character because the bias was extremely bearish for me. And yeah, basically that's it. So yeah, this is the trade breakdown of today's trades. I hope you enjoyed this and wish you all a beautiful weekend. Wish you all a beautiful rest of your day. Take care, guys. See you in the weekend breakdown video. Goodbye.